If you know me in real life, you know that I love horror movies. Also, I should probably say, for those of you that don't know me, hi, my name is Jasmine McCoy and welcome to my channel. If you are a returner, it's nice to see you again. If you are new, you can like and subscribe. That way you can join the family that we have here. So I love horror movies, and that is an all year round sort of thing. So it's not something I just do for October. It's not something I just do for Halloween. I love terror. I even enjoyed this really cool meme, so I'm gonna put it here because I'm like, yeah, that's me. Now, I am sure that you are here because of the title, either because you're like my roommate, cowering in the seat next to me saying, just tell me when it's good, tell me when it's good. Or you're like me saying, it's good, it's all good, because you like horror movies. Well, I have 3 reasons of why you shouldn't be scared of horror movies. 1, they're educational. 2, they are artistic. And number 3, they're comedic. How on earth can they be educational? And what's artistic about gore? Or you're wondering, what kind of sicko finds horror movies funny? Me. But if you watch this video, I will be able to explain why those 3 things are important and why you shouldn't be scared of horror movies. Honestly, every horror movie is spurred on by the idiot decisions made by the characters. Because if you don't have the characters making bad decisions, you don't have a plot. You need to have them do stupid things in order for the plot to deepen, in order to move things along. So, a horror movie teaches you exactly what not to do. Exactly what not to do. And sometimes they teach you a little bit of what to do, but most of the times a horror movie teaches you, hey, don't do this. Vampires, werewolves probably don't exist, but ghosts. If you're like me, you think ghosts are real, so that's why I'm talking about this one first. Ghost movies are basically PSAs of why we don't mess with the dead. That's just a bad idea. It's a no-go. I remember being at my first high school, because I went to 2 high schools. I remember being at my first high school. I'm over at some girl's house for the cheerleader sleepover social, and one of the girls goes, guys, I have a Ouija board. Why don't I go get it so that we can play with it? And here I am. I said without hesitation, if you go get that, I am leaving. We don't play with the ghosts. We don't play with the dead. We do not play with spirits. You must respect the dead. And that's basically what every ghost movie teaches you. So she obviously did not go get the Ouija board. I stayed, had a good time. But we do not play with ghosts. That is what every ghost movie teaches you. Serial killer movies, these ones are definitely a lot more realistic because there are like bad people out there. But serial killer movies teach you how to look for the red flags, how to stay alert, how to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. And they also teach you that if you are going to kill a bad guy, you need to make sure that the bad guy is dead. Like, you don't stop like hitting them with the crowbar or the bat and you stop because they stop moving. You don't do that. You don't just stab them once, like, and they always do it in like some non-vital place, like they'll stab them in the stomach and then you turn around and be like, yay, I did it, I'm safe. Like, you don't do that. You keep going until you see the brains on the ground. Because you know what? If you don't, if you just hit them a couple of times or you stab them in some non-vital place and then you turn around and you start celebrating, in 2 seconds, the serial killer will be back up, back struggling, fighting, and then you'll probably end up having the serial killer kill like your best friend that came to help you, and then you're like, oh no, my best friend is dead. Yes, because you didn't kill the bad guy. Serial killer movies help you understand the importance of, like, if you are going to have to kill someone and fight for your life, you better make sure that the other one stays down, that there is no way they can get up, as in their brains are on the floor. Zombie apocalypse movies. These are the ones that spur you to get fit. It is major motivation for any gym shark. You need to be able to run, at least faster than the slowest person. You need to be able to lift things out of the way, to use crowbars as makeshift weapons, be able to swing them around. You need to be able to wrestle for the last Twinkie from some human that you found and like that you're trying to get the last Twinkie from, because Twinkies mean something in this world, in this apocalyptic world. That is why we watch zombie apocalypse horror movies, because if you ever need motivation to get fit, those are the kinds of movies that you watch. Yes, I said it. Horror movies are an underappreciated art form. Horror movies are an underappreciated art form. Do you know how much skill, how much talent it takes to make someone sitting at home on their couch in the safety of like their family, how much talent it takes to make them feel like they're being hunted by a serial killer, or like a vampire is about to bite their neck, or because today is Friday the 13th, it's the end of Unis Honest, to make someone feel like the gongoozler is below the waters and it's gonna grab them and pull them down. Do you know how much talent it takes to make all of that happen, for someone to even start showing the physical aspects of fear, for them to have their hands get sweaty, for their hair to stand up on end? It takes major skill to do that. And it's not just one person, it's the skills and talents of many different people coming together to create this horror movie. And what is art? What does art do? Art elicits emotion. And our most primitive, primal, powerful emotion is fear. So there are so many ways that horror movies are art. You've got the writers. They are crafting a story out of their imagination, out of their nightmares, and they are bringing it to the screen. They're telling a story. They are making you, the watcher at home, be on the edge of your seat, looking, waiting, watching, wondering what is going to happen to Bethany as she is running through the woods trying to escape the killer. And they are building this connection between you and the characters that you've only known for about an hour. So a good horror movie with good writers, it's going to make you be invested in the story. Even my mom, and my mom hates horror movies. She really doesn't. She just needs to watch it with our family in order to feel safe. But she is one of the biggest people who will get invested and be yelling at the screen saying, "Girl, don't go in there." So a good writer is able to make you get invested in the characters and invested in the story. The characters are played by actors. Some of them so beautifully can just bring fear to their face without actually, I'm guessing they're not experiencing real fear while they're filming. But you've got someone like Toni Collette in Hereditary. She is able to bring such emotion to her face. Just amazing. And then you have someone like Sarah Paulson. In any American Horror Story season she is a part of, I know that when it's time to scream and do the waterworks, she is going to absolutely kill it. Because when she does it, and here's like an example picture, when she has to scream and cry, she does it big, loud, and ugly. Which, at least in my thoughts, if someone is like holding a gun to my head or a knife to my throat, it is going to be uncontrollable, unbridled emotion that is just showing through. And I love her. I love her so much. I also love Toni Collette. Like, anytime I see her, I'm like, oh, it's the lady from Hereditary. But then you also have some, like, because I've only listed female actors, some of my favorite male actors, you don't even see their faces because they are there because their bodies are literally made for nightmare fuel. And I'm talking about Doug Jones, Javier Botet, and Troy James. All of their bodies are literally just made to elicit a little bit of like, ooh, that's a little odd. And then their characters that they play. Special effects. These people are literally the most underappreciated. One thing that I love doing is watching the special effects behind the scenes videos, because these ones are literally artistic. They're basically sculptors in making the prosthetics that they put onto men like Doug Jones, Javier Botet, and Troy James. And those kinds of men, they will spend hours in the special effects crew trailer having the prosthetics applied to their bodies. They've played the parts of Mama, the Pale Man, or the Jangly Man. They are out there in the literal artwork of the special effects crew team. Like, oh my God, the fact that people worked on these pieces that they're applying to these men, it's just amazing. So while you're being scared that like the Jangly Man is walking, like spider walking towards like the little kids, or that the mama is and like reaching out to grab you, just take a moment to appreciate the art that went into that. Because honestly, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. Sometimes I have to stop and be like, wow, special effects really did a good job on this one, while someone's like getting slashed and murdered on the screen. But it's artistic. Horror movies really are an underappreciated art form, and I really hope that you understand that now after this section, because now we're getting into the last section, that horror movies are comedies. I have friends that tell me they will only watch a horror movie if I am there, if it's with me. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you guys. They tell me that they will only watch a horror movie if I'm there because I make it funny. I mean, horror movies really are comedies once you get down to it. And I know you're probably like, how can you find this funny? Well, remember what I said at the beginning. Horror movies are educational. They teach you exactly what not to do. Once you have seen enough horror movies, you will start being able to just predict exactly what's going to happen. You will be able to be like, they did, because they're going into the abandoned warehouse. No, that's a bad idea. And I have no problem talking at the screen saying like, girl, you gonna die. That's a stupid idea. Or, they're going to have sex in the woods. They're gonna end up like dead. Obviously, the characters in horror movies don't watch horror movies because they would know. If they watched horror movies, they would know what they're doing is stupid. That what they're deciding to do in split up, that's a bad idea. We don't do that here. So then, because the characters are making all of these poor decisions, you can make fun of them. Or sometimes you can like nitpick parts of the plot and be like, whoa, wait, when did we establish this? Or wait, is she literally just not going to say anything? Like, she obviously saw that. Why is she not saying anything? Let me paint a picture for you. Mom is at home. Let's say she's washing dishes. And then she hears some footsteps upstairs. And she's like, my children, they're just upstairs playing. And then 2 minutes later, door opens. Hey, Mom, got back from school. And she's like, oh, hi, Johnny. Like, is she not going to say anything about the footsteps that she heard upstairs? Is she not? Apparently not. And I have no problem pointing this out, being like, girl, you deserve to die. If you're not going to like question the weird things that are happening in your house, I'm sorry, you deserve to die. So horror movies can definitely be seen as comedies. If you need a friend like me to come and watch a horror movie with you, I am more than happy and willing to do that because I will make it fun. Horror movies are supposed to be fun. And thank you so much for watching this video. What did I say? That horror movies are educational, horror movies are artistic, and horror movies are comedic. I hope that you will be able to take these things with you and hopefully go watch a horror movie. Broaden your horizons. Expand on what not to do if you're ever in any terrifying situation. Appreciate an underappreciated art form and enjoy a couple of laughs along the way. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.